Monetizing what you know is almost inevitable, and it's part of living legacy. It's part of investing in people. Moreover, at some point in your life, what you love should be something people should benefit from. If you want to do it for free, well, it's okay. But then, doing it for money allows you to meet the people who value the knowledge, who are ready to invest their time in it, and are willing to commit to the process. As someone who has done a lot of my book reading sections for free, I have a book club that runs for free. I can tell you for a fact that 200 persons will sign up that they want to be part of it, and 3 persons will show up for book reviews.
Wow.
4 persons will show up.
Person or virtual.
Person, even virtually, you might have made an announcement. It can be discouraging, right? But the truth is, if their money was there, they would show up. So sometimes the money part is not because someone wants to be greedy and have a lot. It's because you want to also gain the commitment of these people. And also, you're not feeding you. How do I say it? The economy is not smiling at anybody.
Exactly.
The economy is not smiling at anybody. You don't enter into a supermarket and then gather all that is there, and then you tell them Jesus has paid it all, and then you collect the food or whatever is there, or you tell them, you know, I am XYZ, and then they allow you pass. Even though you are the one who voted Tinubu into government, you will certainly be get a backlash for not paying.
Absolutely.
So since you need to take care of your family, charging for your knowledge is a beautiful thing.
All right, so we are back on this beautiful podcast, the Knowledge Money Podcast, where every conversation leads to the money. On this particular episode, we're looking at books and money. And I have my great friend here on the podcast today. Her name is, I call her Ngozi. People call her whatever they call her, but me, Ngozi, that's something that I've been used to over the years. Ngozi, you're welcome.
Thank you so much.
Welcome. Good to have you. Looking beautiful like that.
Thank you. It's an honor to be here.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. So we usually shoot straight into the conversation. We are not asking you who you are or that. Let people go find that out. All right. So straight to my first question. I remember the time it happened where you lost your bookshop as a result of the water surge that happened, and so that particular year. I remember we also being part of the campaign and all that. And that particular experience is enough to really make someone to say, you know what, I'm not doing anymore. I just want to go home, tired of this business. But you've been dogged over the years, especially with regards to books. So I want to ask, what is it about books, basically, that has, why this love for books? Is it about humans, or is this, tell us, give us history of the journey regarding that.
With respect to the love for books, it's something that I actually developed a passion for. From my early age, my dad is a teacher, though retired, right? And I saw his library. I saw him read, so I just enjoyed it. And being someone who enjoyed to read, and discovered when I got to Uniport, the business side of books. I was in my first Uniport, right? And then I was appointed the library secretary or literature secretary, and that was what it was called at that time, 2007. That was what it was called at that time. So when I was appointed that role, my mentor that coached me, Ruth Echem, showed me a bit of the business side of it. So I saw, okay, I could buy books, show the people in fellowship, and they would purchase, and it will actually help their life. And that really began the journey, actually. That was actually where it began, from fellowship, right? It's not something I started doing because I really wanted to make a lot of money from it, to be honest. I started it because I liked to read. And I just felt like, if you want to do anything in life, you should do something you love doing.
Exactly.
Yeah, you should do something you love doing, right? I had worked after my graduation, I'd worked for an academy, Visionary Academy, a personal development center. We were coaching kids and all that. It was a fine experience career-wise. I'd worked with educational consults, travel abroad and all that, volunteered to work with Pastor Eno at House on the Rock. So I've done quite a number of things, even done networking, right? Affiliate marketing and all that. But I just found peace and satisfaction with books, honestly. So whether I made sales or not like when the time where I did not make sales, I was not bothered, but it was a little more easier to bear. There was a time where I would buy books and I would be like, if nobody reads it, at least I can read it. Wow. At least it will be in my library, So that's it.
Fantastic. There was an episode that I watched, Chude Judo. I don't even know Chude Judo. And he said something about this dictum that we grew up hearing. Readers are leaders, or leaders are readers, whichever. But he said something about the fact that now reading has taken other forms, ebooks, podcasts, like we're doing, emails, shows. And so people don't need to really have printed books like they used to do in the 80s and 90s. I mean, so the thing is, with these many forms of reading, what do you think of printed books in our time and their relevance?
Okay.
Basically, from your experience as a bookshop owner.
At some point, it was like a threat to my business.
Oh, really?
Yes, because some persons came and they were really consigned out of love.
Okay.
Those were consigned raised out of love. I wouldn't say there were things to discourage me. They were just consigned raised out of love. There's PDF around. In fact, you can download them online with ease, and people don't need to read all these things, But then, what are the other advantage of having a paper printed books? Those are the things we should also look at.
Yeah.
Because at some point, it just felt like ebook will put us out of the market, booksellers generally. But at some point, one thing that encouraged me was, and I had it in my spirit clearly, don't worry, those who read the ebooks will come back to want to have the hardcovers, right? So, or the hard copies rather. So at some point, I'll display books at some exhibitions at that time, and you will hear someone say, oh, I read that. I have the PDF, but I want the hard copy. I need it. So the PDF sort of became like an introductory or a stimulating part that allowed the hard copies to sell.
Amazing.
For me, right? But the other thing is that hard copies have their own benefits. Overstimulation, gotten from your screen, social media. People are developing a lot of mental illness that normally did not exist in the past. Because why? We just expose ourselves to too much social media consumption, right? And while you're consuming a lot from social media, you don't control what comes on your timeline, except you teach the algorithm how to feed you, right? So for those who haven't taught the algorithm how to feed them, they notice that from social media, they're getting depressed, they're getting worried, comparison is setting in. And so they tell themselves they want a social media detox. And what do they run to? Books, eventually. They run back to books. So to be honest, I don't find it a threat. I see it as a supporting role. Because even when you listen to a lot of the business podcasts, Diary of the CEO and those intellectual, the Nashville guy, when you listen to these intellectual people, or even Warren Buffett, will see a lot of his little clips that we'll find on Instagram. You discover they are still recommending books. They're still telling people, even though it's 5 pages, it's healthy for you to flip. So we still know the benefits of the hard copies. And another part you should also pay attention to is that if you want to raise kids, especially when parenting is something you'd really love to do, if you want to raise kids who are intellectually sound and who at an early age would seek for knowledge, having a library is very important. At least let them see your bookshelf, let them see the books around. That would spur them up to want to read.
Awesome. So let me bring it down to the city of Port Harcourt, where your business is actually located. I don't know. You tell us. What do you think is what's the fate of the reading culture within the city? I live here.
Okay.
In a way, I think my own experience may not be your experience, to cover it. what do you think? What's the fate of the reading culture here in the city of Port Harcourt?
Okay.
I mean, I remember I was having a conversation with you how I would take out a chunk of my salary back then and I would go to buy books. You know, looking at the receipts of those books that I bought back in the days, I'm like, wow, amazing. I'm very proud of myself that I was able to do that for myself, you know, to train my mind by reading books, having the diligence and the devotion to take out parts of my salary to be able. But I don't know. I still do read books. I mean, of course, I purchased 3 books the other day. But then I don't know if the culture is the same for as many individuals in the city.
Well, the thing there is your tribe is always there around your vicinity. Um, God will allow you meet them. That's one. But if we want us to compare the reading culture or the reading habits using Port Harcourt, because this is where I am, if you're looking at the population, you'll be quite discouraged, right? Because maybe 1%, 2%, it's not really as much as we think. But because majority of my clients, to be honest, came from Lagos.
Really?
Yes, majority of my clients.
Order from Lagos.
Yes. Yes.
Just sent from here.
Yes. Majority of my clients in the early days were more of Lagos people because I was using social media platform as an opportunity to showcase myself, Instagram. So one of the things that really helped me was word of mouth, right? So someone buys from me rather, and they tell their friends, I got this particular book from her, and that one tells another person. So that was how I was able to network with some circle of people who read in Port Harcourt. And majority of the persons who bought or who are still buying from Port Harcourt, I discovered that there are people who are building things for their life. People who are trying to ensure that they continually innovate and they are looking out to growing daily, right?
Yeah.
Those are the set of people in Port Harcourt that really bought from me. But so if you're comparing the reading culture, it's not really a lot. It can be quite discouraging. Especially, let's say if you attend the trade fair. Let me use the trade fair as a bit of comparison. If you attend the trade fair that is not an intellectual kind of trade fair, most of these trade fairs are organized by people who say, come and shop for clothes, shoes, bags, and then you as a bookseller, you go and register. Half of the time, you'll be wasting your money because people will be more focused on buying things for their children, buying food, and then you have just a few persons visit your stand. But most times, those few persons can actually make your sales look good. Let me take, for instance, we did an exhibition at Total this year, and then we had, there were cars showcased. There was this car brand. They came with a lot of cars, electronic, very beautiful cars. Then you have people who came with phone, doors, like real estate kind of things. So the staff were really going out to buy. Okay, now we had just about, let's say, 10 or 10 or less than 10 persons who came out to buy books from us. But it was good sales because one person can decide I'm buying books worth 150K. People who read, they really invest. So one person can come up now and say they are going to purchase. I say there could be few, but those people really buy. So most often than not, I console myself with the fact that the few who are buying are buying.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. In this current dispensation where knowledge monetization is a necessity, right? I know that you also tapping into that, you know, monetizing the knowledge. You have a community where you constantly hold your meetings and conclaves, and you're leading in your space as a bookshop owner. What's your take? The books and the money. I mean, the business side of books, you know, and monetizing the knowledge that you've already gained and the experiences you have as a bookseller and also a bookshop owner.
Okay, I'm trying to understand the question. If you can rephrase.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is that
Yeah.
right now, everybody's thinking, or most people are thinking about how the knowledge they have, the experiences that have gathered, how they can be able to monetize them. I know you've gathered a lot of experiences. You also have a community. You've invited me to come teach there. So with regards to what you're doing within this space as a bookseller and also as a bookshop owner, what are your takes regarding monetization of knowledge? That's what I mean.
Well, monetization of knowledge is almost something that is a must.
Yeah.
For anyone who, because the truth is, as you grow older, legacy is something we should look into. And legacy is not just in having children. Legacy is in impact.
Yeah.
And most times, impact is not appreciated without commitment of money, right? Ubon King, at the little time I spent with him, will always tell me that people don't always value what they don't pay for, right? So monetizing what you know is almost inevitable. And it's part of living legacy. It's part of investing in people. Moreover, at some point in your life, what you love should be something people should benefit from. If you want to do it for free, well, it's okay. But then doing it for money allows you to meet the people who value the knowledge, who are ready to invest their time in it, and are willing to commit to the process. As someone who has done a lot of my book reading sections for free, I have a book club that runs for free. I can tell you for a fact that 200 persons will sign up that they want to be part of it, and 3 persons will show up for book reviews.
Wow.
4 persons will show up.
Person or virtual
person, even virtually, you might have made an announcement. It can be discouraging,
yeah,
right? But the truth is, if their money was there, they would show. So sometimes the money part is not because someone wants to be greedy and have a lot. It's because you want to also gain the commitment of these people. And also, you're not feeding you. How do I say it? The economy is not smiling at anybody.
exactly.
The economy is not smiling at anybody. You don't enter into a supermarket and then gather all that is there. And then you tell them Jesus has paid it all. And then you collect the food or whatever is there. Or you tell them, I am XYZ. And then they allow you pass. Even though you are the one who voted Tinubu into government. You will certainly be, you will certainly get a backlash for not paying.
Absolutely.
So, since you need to take care of your family, charging for your knowledge is a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. Yeah.
So I don't know. On this journey, have you had some, apart from the time that your bookshop was flooded? Have there been times that you felt a lot of pain for being on this journey?
A lot.
Is there something? Is there one unique one that you want to share with us?
A lot.
That cost you a lot of pain, but you still kept firing.
There've been a lot of roadblocks, obstacle, all right? And I'm somebody who, I can worry a lot. I'm somebody who, yes, depression can come in, but because I have a sanguine tendency too, so it's just a flip side of I am down, then the next minute I'm up, so I could be smiling. And that's the reason why when the flood issue happened, the picture I took, I was actually smiling in it. Somebody saw the picture, I was like, why are you smiling? It's like flood that took the book. So I'll give us some stories about the little setback I had. During that flood season, I'd moved from my friend's house to go rent a space because I needed ample time to be able to grow and get better, right? And I'd borrowed 200 and something thousand, and I didn't know where the money would come because my business was at its low at that time. And that was the same time the flood thing happened. And I wasn't selling a lot, I have to be honest with you. I wasn't selling a lot. I remember being in my room and I'd posted, I'm posting on WhatsApp, I'm posting on Facebook. A lot of persons are commenting, you're doing well, but nobody is purchasing actually at that time. So I'm like, God, what should I really do? Someone called me, I was like, oh, I need this book, The Greatest Salesman. So God, I don't have it. And honestly, I didn't have it in my shelf. I told her I don't have it. And she kept on saying, no, you need to find it, Grace. You need to find it, Grace. And I was really down, health-wise, money-wise. The flood had actually happened. The campaign was already going on at that time too. So I said, okay, I was going to look for the book. Thank God for that campaign. I have to be honest with you, because the campaign raised money that made me pay off the debts that I was owing for that rent. That was one. And this, now you're looking at it now. This is not money that was invested back into the business. That's the book that was already lost. So I had authors to settle. I had to, a lot of things were happening at the same time. But somehow that season passed, because the lady, after she asked me to look for that book, I looked for the book and started reading it. And that was actually what helped me out of depression that period. The Greatest Salesman by Ojimadino. Till today, I keep reading that book because it really encouraged me that season. The other season where it was almost horrible and terrible was, you know how you are doing a business, is not able to survive your rent, is not able to take care of your feeding, is not even able to take care of your lifestyle. And then you come out and people want you to look in certain ways because they feel, by now you should have outgrown this. But what really helped me was that I am somebody who is not, I wouldn't say materialistic. I'm someone, when I have a goal, I focus first on the goal. I try to leave other things behind. So the book business was not doing well. The house where I was living and I had rented and I was using for both the bookshop and myself, and had 100,000 naira to pay for the rent. The rent was about 170,000 naira at that time. So I had 100,000, 70,000 remaining. I was running, asking friends if they could loan me. Nobody could loan me. I had to now think of how to move my books to the front of where Everyday Supermarket is now at Location Junction, but it was formerly Sizzlers. So we just rented canopies there. So canopies, I'll display the books like I'm selling by the roadside. It was really selling by the roadside. If cars had hit me on the road, anything could have happened. But then the books were there and dust would gather on the books. And it was really heartbreaking because I'm somebody who, I don't want the books to get stained. I really want to care for the book. But this time around, I'm by the roadside and I'm trying to sell. So the dust and the other particles getting on the books were actually inevitable. So after a while, I decided, let me add popcorn because, of course, the book was not. I remembered one of my classmates coming around and looking at me. I studied biochemistry in Uniport. So one of my classmates came around, saw me, then she called me aside and was like, I know you are discouraged. I know you feel ashamed. I know this. As she was saying a lot of things. At the same time, I just looked at her and said, I am fine. She just said, no, I know you are not fine. It's written all over you. They are not. I said, but I am fine. You're trying to be defensive. I said, babe, I'm fine. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do to allow myself survive, you know. But that season was actually difficult because you see your classmates pass by and you're ashamed to even look at them. You see people you know, and it's like life is just gradually passing you by. That was one of the difficult seasons in my life. But then I didn't even, okay, I survived it by, God actually provided the money. The sales made a little bit of, the sales actually grew. I was able to pay the rent, but I moved from that place to another lesser location. For you to know that the books were not actually meeting up with the payment of both the rent, taking care of myself and everything. So I had to move to a lesser or a cheaper apartment where I moved my books to, and then I started selling from there, plus the popcorn and all that. Before one day, I just told myself, you need to stop this. Anyhow, let's just move to the house and let's keep it going. But I'm so grateful to God for opportunity to meet some other strategies on social media that helped grow the business. There's Facebook ads. There's most of those friends started talking to people who bought, started talking to other people. So bulk orders really helped me survive and get back on track. But the truth is, book selling was not, is not something I'm doing because it made me a lot of money from the very beginning. It was actually quite. My parents were actually on my case to get a paid job. They were on my case to get a paid job to leave what I am doing. But I felt like I enjoy it. You can suffer anywhere. You can suffer working in oil company. We can suffer working, but we should all learn to choose our suffering.
That's of us. Okay, I get that. Now you have a beautiful bookshop, in the good location, and I like that. I visited you, and you spoke about Pastor Larry ordering how many copies again for his bookshelf?
We are looking at 200.
200 copies of books.
Although he has not sent his order, but we are hoping.
Yeah, but that's something amazing. I mean, I don't know if other CEOs or leaders do something like that.
Yes.
Amazing. So other CEOs and leaders who do stuff like that, have you like studied their lives to see how they stand out differently from other individuals who don't do the same?
Okay. I have quite a lot of examples, so I'm trying to think of. There's this Mr. Wale. Mr. Wale is the creative director, but he's the owner of Just Brand It in Lagos. He runs a branding company in Lagos. The period he started out, I remember he ordered about 100, and his first order was about 100,000.
So he left Lagos.
Yes, he
And then
bought
came
from-
to you.
This
There must be something
This is because of referral.
awesome.
Let me tell you how the story is.
It wasn't about distance or anything. They just wanted you.
Yes, the story is quite interesting because till tomorrow, if I look back at the whole connection thing, I'm really grateful to God for it, because I thought to this guy, what's his name? Ayo. Hi, help me with his full name. The guy who wrote Credit Alerts.
Okay, no, I can't remember his
Ayo Akiola.
Yeah, okay.
Yes. So I thought to Ayo Akiola, that time they were building, Biggie had started, right? And I didn't know who he was. So he called and ordered some books. And the books were about 50-something thousand watts. No, 50,000, sorry. 50,000 watts of book. And I do send it through my post to Lagos sometimes via road. So for him, I wanted to use EMS, that's night post too. There's an aspect of night post that is faster. But what happened was I was supposed to send it on Tuesday, but I just felt like if I have more orders added, it make my journey easier. So let me move it to Thursday, so that by Thursday, I can now send it. And then, but I didn't know he had an emergency and needed the book latest by Saturday. So the book would have taken like 3 days to get to him through EMS. But if you're taking the normal night post, it will take 1 week, 3 weeks, and so on. So I got to the post office and I was about sending it, and they told me it can't get to him till Monday or Tuesday. So I called him. I was like, see, they're saying it can't get to you. He said he must get it on Saturday. And I was like, just in my mind, I was feeling like, be reasonable. They're saying Monday, there's no difference. And he kept on saying, it's Saturday I need it because I paid you since, and you were supposed to have sent it on Tuesday. I had two options, either to refund his money or to use another faster means to send it to him. So I called my business coach, Joel. So when I called Joel said, Grace, I don't care how you are going to send these books to this man. Send it however you want to send it, but send it to him. And I really didn't know who he was, to be honest. So this was just me acting based on my business coach said the books must get to. I said, okay, no wahala. I asked them, which is the fastest means? And they said, through air, whatever. There's this airline, something, kind of delivery or something. At that time, Nipost was also using it. So I asked them for the charge, and the charge was
outrageous.
it was going to take my profits. It was going to make the whole transaction look useless. So I called my business coach. He said he does not care. Our book has to get to him tomorrow and at his doorpost. That is what he bargained for initially. I said, wahala. So I packaged the whole stuff and sent it. You know something? He got the order. And when he got it, I actually used to slip in books for free. There are books that I feel will not sell easily. So Sometimes I buy them really cheap. So I'll put them in, and I know those books are good because I've read them. I put them in so that when the person reads it, I say, oh, it's good. Can I have more copy? Or they will just, he called me and said he needed his staffs to read the book, his staff to
The
read
one
the
you
book.
slipped in.
Yes. So he ordered 10 more copies of that and more books. It was from his circle Mr. Wale came from. It was from his circle. There was another guy.
So the slipping of the book.
Yes.
What is the strategy or business strategy? Or just
I
something.
was just doing it.
Just doing.
I don't know whether you call it business strategy.
I won't get one free.
I don't know whether you call it business strategy, but I just felt like I felt so happy that somebody is buying from me. But I want to put a book that will be of value to them. So it was from him, Mr. Wale came on board. Mr. Wale bought books worth 100 and something. Later he moved to 300 and something. Yes, from Lagos. And I had to ship those books to him. And in 2023, or is it 24, that I went to Lagos, I went to look for Mr. Wale. And this man has built something really huge for himself. He's contested for a position, a political post, even though he didn't win the post. He had worked with Coca-Cola, he had worked with many beautiful brands, Nokia, a lot of Airtel, a lot of beautiful brand. And he just took me around the office and was showing me, you see, knowledge can do a lot for you. So Piggy Vest creator, Ayo Akiola, I hope I got it. Yes, Ayo Akiola, yes, that's his name. So if you look at him very well, if you look at how he has grown over the years, knowledge is something that has also helped him to grow over the years. Look at someone like you, for instance, you know, you always used to come ask for Enoibeviri. I don't want to miss mentioning her. She's somebody who is so into knowledge, and she also brought a lot of customers my way, helping her community to read and to get better. Then also look at myself, because in 2017, 2019, where I had that financial issues, something just dawned on me. You're selling books, but you've not read certain books
That you're selling.
Yes, I was more focused on spiritual, some sort of personal development. I wasn't doing finances a lot at that time. And the first two books that the Holy Spirit prompted me to read were Laws of Prosperity by Kenneth Copeland, and then this other book, The Richest Man in Babylon. The Richest Man in Babylon. And those books taught me how to live debt-free. So till date, as we speak, I've lived within my means and I'm not owing. So the shop you're seeing or the office you're seeing we're using now, I'm not owing a dime.
Wow.
It's not. I didn't go to any bank to loan. I've not learned how to apply for grants or all these things. It's just those books teaching me how to save money, reinvest, because those are the things. Sometimes it's not that your business is not bringing in money. You've not learned how to be financially accountable. You've not learned how to manage your money and allow the money to grow. And that's what books teach you, because people who have also had that same experience, they have gone through that part, overcome it, and now they have written books to help you learn. And you want to sit down and learn by your own personal experience. That's actually failing twice.
Yeah.
Because there's knowledge to learn from, and now you have refused that one. That's one failure, and you are now failing by yourself. That's a whole lot of failure. So, books, yes. The people who had bought books from me and the people who I see their brands grow, I see their businesses thrive, I see them get better. There's one other testimony that I really liked, Benjamin Adejumo. You know, at that time, he was dating a young lady whom, he was dating a young lady that was not someone he wanted to marry. So because his parents had felt he must marry from Yoruba land. So he was dating this young lady, managing the situation. But he had joined our book club and we're reading this book, Courageous. So we're reading the book and we also saw the movie. You came for that book reading, I think. So he read that book, did the book review with us, bought some other books on relationship, and kept on looking at himself like, what I'm reading and my life, they are not aligning. I have an Igbo girl that I really love and I would want to settle for. So what he now did was, the book, Courageous actually thought about being able to confront your fears. So he now decided to travel to his village just by reading a book. He decided to travel to his village.
Prepare to spares. And the only reason his father decided that they will not marry from Igbo land was actually because he had wanted to marry someone true, but your preference is to escape. And it was like, is that the boy? See, what if I compare this body? And it was quite intriguing for me because that also lets us know that sometimes the fears of our parents are not as big as the magnified. So he came back, broke the relationship he had formerly with the other lady, and now reunited with someone he lives. That's from Europa. Jamadi, it's the lobby debt rights. And one of those is where they called me to talk about this particular aspect. He spent over 4 hours talking, and I was with peace. And he said, "Thank you for it. Thank you for that book." It does sound like I was the one who reacting, but I didn't really help him. That was an indirect form of a book.
So a book helped him, right, get back to the love of his life. And now he's in a marriage that he really wants to be in, not a marriage that he felt like inspired by my parents' decision.
That's amazing. I mean, thank you so much, NG, for coming on this podcast today. And I mean, listening to you and going through your journey and all the things you're doing and really building a big workshop. I mean, a bookshop for yourself. I see that bookshop really becoming big and big. Yeah, even with all the threats of the ebook and everything. Yeah, I see like my physical book so that I can highlight inside. I can come back to read again and all that and all that. Thank you so much for honoring our invitation, and we're grateful. All right, so it's a wrap on this episode. My name is Emeka Novis, as usual. I'm the host of Knowledge Money podcast. Thank you for being part of this episode. Turn on your notifications so that you can get notification of all our episodes on the Knowledge Money podcast. Thank you for being with us. Ciao.
Thank you.